I thank you for allowing me to be part of the conclusion of this chapter of your lives and the commencement of your next chapter. My one hope today is that I can be a source of some inspiration. I'm going to address my remarks to anybody who has ever felt inferior, disadvantaged, or screwed by life. You know, my television career began unexpectedly. As you heard this morning, I was in the Miss Fire Prevention Contest. That was when I was 16 years old in Nashville, Tennessee. During the question and answer period, the question came, "Young lady, what would you like to be when you grow up?" And I answered, I would like to be a journalist. I would like to tell other people's stories in a way that makes a difference in their lives and the world. And as those words were coming out of my mouth, I thought, whoa, this is pretty good. I would like to be a journalist. I want to make a difference. Well, I was on television by the time I was 19 years old. In 1986, I launched my own television show with determination to succeed. At first, I was nervous about the competition. But then, I became my own competition, raising the bar every year and pushing myself as hard as I could. Eventually, we did make it to the top, and we stayed there for 25 years. The Oprah Winfrey Show was #1 in our time slot for 21 years, and I became pretty comfortable with that level of success. But a few years ago, I decided that it was time to break new ground. So I ended the show and launched OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network. 1 year later, after launching OWN, nearly every media outlet had proclaimed that my new venture was a big flop. It really was the worst period of my professional life. I was stressed and frustrated. Quite frankly, I was embarrassed. At the time, I thought I was stuck in a hole. Then, the words from the hymn came to me. Trouble don't last always, and this too shall pass. And I thought, I'm going to turn this thing around, and I will be better for it. This is what I want to share. It doesn't matter how high you might rise. At some point, you're bound to stumble, because if you're constantly doing what you do, pushing yourself higher, you will fall at some point. And when you do, I want you to remember this. There is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. When you're down in the hole, it looks like failure. When that moment comes, it's really okay to feel bad for a little while. Give yourself time to mourn what you think you may have lost. But then, here's the key. Learn from every mistake, because every experience, encounter, and particularly your mistakes, are there to teach you and force you into being more of who you are. And then figure out what the next right move is. The key to life is to develop an internal, moral, emotional GPS that can tell you which way to go. Build a resume that doesn't just tell a story about what you want to accomplish, but why. A story that's not just a collection of titles and positions, but a story that's really about your purpose. Because when you inevitably stumble and find yourself stuck in a hole, that is the story that will get you out. What is your true calling? What is your purpose? For me, that discovery came in 1994 when I interviewed a girl who collected pocket change in order to help other people in need. She raised $1,000 all by herself, and I thought, if that little 9-year-old girl could do that, what could I do? So I asked our viewers to take up their own change collection. In 1 month, we raised more than $3 million that we used to send one student from every state in the United States to college. That was the beginning of the Angel Network. Extend yourself in kindness to other human beings wherever you can. Together, we built 55 schools in 12 different countries and restored nearly 300 homes that were devastated by Hurricanes Rita and Katrina. It was the Angel Network that actually focused my internal GPS. It helped me decide that the goal of my shows, interviews, business, philanthropy, whatever ventures I might pursue, would be to make clear that what unites us is far more redeeming and compelling than anything that separates us. It reminded us that no matter who we are, it is both possible and powerful to come together in common purpose and common effort. Maya Angelou always says, "When you learn, teach. When you get, give." That, my friends, is what gives your story purpose and meaning. So you all have the power in your own way to develop your own angel network, and in doing so, your class will be armed with more tools of influence and empowerment than any other generation in history. I did it in an analog world. I was blessed with a platform that at its height reached nearly 20 million viewers a day. Now, here in a world of Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Tumblr, you can reach billions in just seconds. The single most important lesson I learned in 25 years of talking every single day to people was that there is a common denominator in our human experience. Most of us don't want to be divided. We simply want to be validated. We want to be understood. So whether you call it soul, spirit, higher self, or intelligence, there is a light inside each of you, inside all of us, that illuminates your very human beingness, if you let it. And as a young girl from rural Mississippi, I learned long ago that being myself was much easier than pretending to be Barbara Walters. I know that you all might have a little anxiety now and hesitation about leaving the comfort of college and putting those Harvard credentials to the test. But no matter what challenges, setbacks, or disappointments you may encounter along the way, you will find true success and happiness if you fulfill the highest and most truthful expression of yourself as a human being. You want to max out your humanity by using your energy to lift up yourself, your family, and the people around you. One theologian said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive." From time to time, you may stumble or fall. You will, for sure. You will have doubts about your path. But if you're willing to listen to that GPS within yourself, to find out what makes you come alive, you will be happy, successful, and make a difference in the world.